Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're checking out the Tsakalis AudioWorks Multicab 4. The Multicab 4 is a great mix of the digital and analog realm, giving you the sound of your favorite cabinet and microphone directly out via this XLR output. This can be run into an audio interface mixer or PA system if you play live. All of the sample tones in this video were recorded using this XLR directly out into my Focusrite audio interface. This isn't a full-blown digital device, but it does have a great combination of analog and digital circuitry. The preamp, power, cabinet and microphone options on these switches right here are all analog, and this helps keep down the latency when you compare it up against digital solutions. The digital side of the Multicab 4 combines 8 impulse responses built directly into this main dial right here, and it clicks nicely into place. These include a great mix of cabinets from Fender, Zilla, Vox, Marshall, Boogie, and if you don't like any of those, thanks to the TAW editor that's free to download from Tsakalis AudioWorks, you can download any number of free packs that they've provided, so you can change them to whatever you like. There's a USB port on the back, so you can plug this directly into your computer. If you want to add a little bit of room reverb, we get an ambience dial on this side right here. It allows you to get a little bit of niceness. But what you can do also is run your pedals into this, and I'll showcase all of that in this video. Or you can add a little bit of reverb in post or delay or whatever you want if you're just doing a studio recording. So it's really up to you on how you want to use it. Each of the different ways you can use this will be timestamped down in the description below. A massive thank you to Tsakalis AudioWorks for sending this out. I really appreciate it. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down in the description and or in the pinned comment. Let's get into it. First way I want to show you how you can run this pedal is with an amp in the box pedal. I'm going to show you the Sunkeeper from Tubesteader. This is an orange amplifier in a box, so you get a clean channel and a rock and drive channel. I'm going out of the Multicab 4 directly into my sound card. It's a Focusrite sound card. And as you can see from here, I've got all three of these set downways. So these two are off. I'll show you those a little bit later. We have it set to a closed back cabinet because this is a really great pairing for not only the number 6 preset, which is based on a Marshall, but also works well when you're bringing the orange tone into that Marshall cabinet. And I've got the microphone type set to both. So you're getting a ribbon microphone and a dynamic mic. This is neck pickup with the Sunkeeper currently off. You can hear that ambience on the sound. That's actually from the pedal. I've got the ambience cranked all the way up. It's a bit like a room reverb. Now have a listen to the difference when I put the clean channel of the amplifier through it. Get lots more fidelity and it sounds much more like an actual amp. Now, if we go over to the drive channel, have a listen to this, bridge pickup. So whether you're using a clean amp in a box or a really high gain amp in a box tone, you can really make this work. I think it sounds pretty great. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's go for a really nice Fender clean tone now, thanks to the Blackbird Deluxe from VS Audio. I'm using the lower gain channel and I've set it up nice and clean. Now we've changed two things on the Multicab 4. The first thing is we're now over to the semi-open back cabinet. I'm on preset number 2, which is based, or an IR based on that of the Super Reverb. It sounds great, my favorite Fender amp of all time. This is neck and middle pickups together. Here we go. Let's try neck pickup. Beautiful. Up next, I want to show you how well this signal chain handles my entire pedal board. So I've got a couple of overdrives and a delay going through what you just heard before, except now we're over to preset 3, giving us the impulse response of a Fender Deluxe Reverb. And I've also changed up the cabinet type to open back. And this is how that sounds with my Telecaster on neck pickup. Left side of the Royal Flush overdrive pedal. I play this pedal all the time and that feels very reminiscent of how it sounds. A little bit of delay thanks to the Crazy Tube Circuit's time delay. And some additional drive now thanks to the Carrera from Buffalo Effects. Killer dirt pedal, here we go. Funnily enough, if you turn down, you get all of those dynamics. Cleans up beautifully, back up. And now with the Carrera off, but I'm going to use both sides of the Royal Flush. So if you've got your favorite pedal board already set up, you will need to just adjust things slightly when it comes to the treble or tone controls, but otherwise, I think that sounds pretty great. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. If you don't have an amp in a box pedal, this section's for you. You can still get this to work thanks to a couple of the other toggle switches I haven't showcased yet on the pedal until now. So this is an Overdrive Pro from Maxon. It's like a sort of like the best tube screamer they ever made. And it sounds kind of weird and bland going directly into the multicab. Let's take a listen first. Now if we go over to clean, this is to emulate the preamp section of a Fender amplifier. Now to complete the tone, I'm going to go up to 6L6. Let's take a listen to this. Now, if you want to change the top end frequency control, you can use that using the tone. This is all the way down. Now, if you want more of a hot sound, click it up to hot, and this is going to give you that sort of British tone. And over to EL34s. Now, while that's usable and it's definitely better in the mix in terms of its tonality, it still doesn't sound quite as good to my ear as using an amp in a box pedal, but you can still get this to work. You may need to fiddle around with your overdrive pedal to get the most out of it. If you have a more neutral sounding overdrive, you're gonna have far better success than one that's heavily mid-humped, like this particular one right here. It has a really prominent bump in the mids, but yeah, great tones. You can really make this work depending on your particular configuration. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at each of the three settings when it comes to the microphone impulse responses, starting with the dynamic setting, which is an IR based on the Shure SM57. Bridge pickup. Sounds like a 57. It's got all the sparkle and bite there. Also has a nice mid-frequency sound. If we go over to the ribbon option, this will give us a much fatter sound but less top end. Now that sound on its own isn't for everybody. I much prefer the both option, which is why a lot of studios will mic up with both. Here we go. Gives you all the cut of the 57 and the big body of the ribbon microphone, the Royer 121. Up next, I'm going to show you how to get a really great recorded signal using an actual amplifier. Now this isn't a load box, but if your amplifier has a send and return or an effects loop, then you can get this particular feature to work. So what I've done, I've taken the send from my Blues Deluxe directly into the multicab, then out into my sound card. And what you're hearing is the multicab. Here we go. Thanks for watching, folks. My name's Shane. I'm going to give you my thoughts about the Multicab 4 and who it's for. So if you're in a situation where you want to record at home, this makes a whole lot of sense. I think it sounds by far the best using an amp in a box pedal in conjunction with this and then running all of your pedals into it. Without an amp in a box pedal, it's usable, but it's definitely not as good. I didn't like having the preamp and power section on as much as I liked leaving them off and then using the right type of amp in a box pedal into this, then out into my sound card. I also wanted to talk a little bit about how this compares against the Strymon Iridium, which I've had a chance to use over the last few months, and it's a really great pedal. That is more of a pedal, whereas this is more of a device. So you can look at that one of two ways. The Strymon Iridium is a fully integrated device, so you don't need another pedal to get the most out of that. It just kind of works, but you're at the disadvantage of not having an XLR output. I find these connectors far more reliable, not only for playing live, but also here in the studio. A standard jack connection can come out quite easily, whereas these XLRs lock in nicely. When it came to the room reverb or the ambience control, both the Strymon and this sound pretty much the same. There might be some inherent tonal differences between the reverb effect, but it's a very similar thing. I would have loved to have been able to change that out to a spring reverb. I hope they can do that in firmware. I'm not sure if they can, but that would be a really great addition. Overall, this unit couldn't be more simple to get going, and that's what I really like about it. You don't even have to hook it up to a computer if you choose not to. Thanks again for watching. My name's Shane. I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.